Ashwathama Vikarna Ghoramakara Duryodhanavartini Sotirna Khalu Pandavairanati Kaivarta Janjeshavaha Parasharya Vachas Sarojamamalam Gitaarthagandotkatam Dhanakyanaka Kesaram Harikata Sambodhana Bodhitam Loke Sajjana Shatpatairaharaha Epiyyamanam Muda Bhuyad Bharata Pankajam Kalimala Pradvamshina Shreyase Ukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatripa Tamaham Tante Paramananda Madhavam Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutah Stumbhanti Divyaistavai Vedai Sangha Padakramopanishadai Gayanti Yam Samagaha Jnanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginah Yasyantam na Vidussura Suragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha Om Shri Krishna Paramatmane Namaha Atha Ekadashodhyayah Vishwarupayoga Vishwarupayogo Nama Ekadashodhyayah. We have completed 49 verses of this chapter. There are just 6 more verses, 50, 51. 6 verses. We'll try and complete it today. If not, possibly next week. We'll come. It's not that we have completed the chapter. It is how much we have absorbed that's important. So in this chapter, Arjuna asks for Vishwarupa Darshanam. And when he sees Vishwarupa Darshanam, he is first Ashcharya, wonderment. Then Vismay. And finally fear. You see something whole. Now, when you see the whole design as a whole, it can be scary. And when he mentioned this to Krishna, Krishna said, okay, I'll give you back what you want. Now, we have to understand certain things. Vishwarupa Darshana, that means the total vision is possible only if this is properly developed. Unless I have the patrata, I cannot appreciate the total vision. Can you go to a small child and say, the solar system, this is how it works and things like that? It needs a certain level of maturity. The same way, to understand the total vision and everything as Aneka Rupa Ishvara alone takes tremendous inner growth. It is called Patrata. You must have the Chitta Shuddhi and the Chitta Ekagrata to be able to absorb the whole thing. Then did Arjuna have it? From the dialogue which happens between Arjuna and Krishna, one can be sure that while Arjuna has the capacity, he is not mature enough. I'm mature, all right, but not mature enough to relate to the total and also to the individual. It takes a lot of vision. Appreciate the total. But you can't do transaction with the total. You have to reduce yourself to the individual and do business at the individual level. Appreciate the total and transact with the individual. It's a little difficult. Not difficult, it needs a lot of growth. That has happened to Arjuna. He says, I cannot handle it. Please give me the Rupa which I can relate to. He's not saying, I can understand that you are this whole, and I find it terrible. Simply terrible. Cannot handle. Simply, it's, see, there is a work called Bhagavad. When you listen to some of these verses, even listening to the verses, many of us cannot handle. It scares. Like there is one verse. Yavat pavano nimasati dehe tavan pritchati kushalam gehe gatavati vayo deha apaye harya vibhyati tasmin kaye. As long as there is prana in this body, everybody says, "Kaise ho sahab? Che hai? All well?" Gatavati vayo deha apaye. When the vayu leaves the body, even the one who is dearest to the body, closest to the body, says, Vibhyati. When are we going to cremate it or dispose it off? Tough to handle. You need inner maturity to handle this. So suppose I want to make a will, they say at home, they will say, what is the hurry? Can you handle it? So I wrote a personal document saying that in case something happens, I don't want to be kept alive with all those tubes and all inside me. I don't want to be on ventilator. The family said, why do you talk about all this? You've got nothing else to do. It's difficult to handle certain realities. जिंदगी की सच्चाई सामना करना आसान नहीं है. It is not easy to handle certain realities of life. That's what Arjuna is going through, and he asks for, please come to the Saumya Rupa. The Rupa, the Eka Rupa Ishvara, with which I can relate. Therefore, the break in the narrative. So the commentator, Sanjaya, very often it happens, when you're watching a match or something like that. So in the middle of the action, the commentator will come on side. The last over, he hit 5 sixes and one more, it will be a world record. He will come on base and he'll go back to the ground. So like that, he's giving you a break in the narrative. I mean, it's not a break. The narrator comes. And who is the narrator? Sanjaya. So, verse number 50. Sanjaya uvacha ityarjunam vasudevastatoktva swakam rupam darshayamasa bhuyah ashvasyamasa cha bhitamenam bhutva punah saumya vapur mahatma. Once more. इत्यार्जुनं वासुदेवस्ततोक्त्वा स्वकं रूपं दर्शयामास भूयः आश्वासयामास च भीतमेनं भूत्वा पुनः सौम्यवपुर्महात्मा. So Sanjaya Vacha, Sanjaya says, Uktva, having said so, iti, in this manner, Arjunam, to Arjuna, Vasudeva, nominative case, Krishna, Darshayamasa Bhuya, he came back to his Saumya Rupam, the Purva Rupam, the friendly, pleasant Rupam with which he was there. Okay, Darshayamasa Bhuya, that it's some own form, it's the old form. He came to that old form. Bhutva Saumya Vapu, that pleasing form he assumed. Punaha. Mahatma, who is Mahatma, is referring to Krishna here. Ashvasaya Masacha. He consoled him. Enam Hitam. Very something beautiful you have to understand here. Long ago, quite some time ago, when my daughter was about, how much? 6. Not even 6, 4, 5 years old. We had all gone for a vacation to a hill resort. There we went boating. So I was trying to book space in the boat, and then all of us went. And then the child of 5 years let go of my hand. I thought it was holding the mother's hand. And the child simply walked out of that area, the boating area. I don't know where she went. The boat tickets are ready. We are looking for the child. The child is missing. Okay. What is the feeling you have? Hitam? Terrified? We went shouting. Shouted out aloud for the child. He spotted. It didn't take even 4 minutes to spot. But when we saw the child, we are relieved, all right. But that tremor continues. Okay? And then the child saw us. Till she saw us, she didn't cry at all. But when she saw us, she broke down crying, came and said, "Why did you leave me and go?" So, even when the problem is solved, the pent-up emotion comes, the bhaya comes. The bhaya is expressed. Therefore, Krishna, who understood how terrified Arjun was, Ashwasam. Ashwasam means culturally, come on, come. That is only my ugly underbelly. That is not the one which I am going to show you. You wanted to see, therefore I am showing. So don't get scared. Yeah, and he says, went to my old form. You have to understand something. Very, very important you have to understand. This and then the next. The Vishwarupa Ishvara is being shown. And he went back to the old form. What is the meaning of that? That means something disappeared, something came. Not like that. There is this Srishti. For instance, I am explaining the solar system to you. I am explaining the solar system. You have to pick up everything separately and show it to you. All I need is a map. The Srishti is intact. I took a small map, explained it to you. Knowledge has been gained. You are comfortable relating. I mean, you don't say that show me in the sky all the 9 planets. It cannot be seen. You have to insightfully see the 9 planets. From the earth where you are sitting, you want to see the whole solar system? How is it possible? So, seated from where you are, you can insightfully see the solar system represented on a map and appreciate it. Sometimes the totality can even scare you. That doesn't mean I have to wind up anything and throw away something. You have to just change my focal length to that form to which I can easily relate. So when he went back to that, that's what you have to understand. And Sanjaya says this to whom? To Dhritarashtra. This is what happened. Okay. So let's go further. That's 851. Arjuna Uvacha Drishtvedam Manusham Rupam Tava Saumyam Janardana Idanimasmi Samvrittah Sacheta Prakritim Gatah. Once more. Arjuna Uvacha Drishtvedam Manusham Rupam Tava Saumyam Janardana Idanimasmi Samvrittah Sacheta Prakritim Gatah. Arjuna Vacha, Arjuna says, Hey Janardana, he addresses Krishna. Drishtva, having seen Idam Saumyam Manusham Pam, having seen this pleasant Manushya Rupa, Tava, okay, you are either this pleasant Rupa, Idanim Asmi, I have now Samvritta Sachetaha. I have now steadied myself. My tremors have gone down. Okay. I have come back to normalcy. That means, was he abnormal? See, what did happen? See, very often, when we are confronted with stark realities, maybe in a movie, okay, when that scene is over and you come back, there's a great sense of relief. Oh, it's over. Your dream. Yeah, it does happen. I dreamt of it yesterday or day. Before I moved into this apartment, I used to live in some other apartment, a smallish apartment, which was fit enough only for about 2 or 3 people, in which 5 of us were there. You can understand how claustrophobic it would have been. I dreamt that I have been pushed back into that apartment and locked from outside. I woke up. When I woke up, there was a great sense of relief. Thank God I have not been pushed back. So whenever you you confront something which is difficult to relate to, and then it returns to normalcy, there is a great sense of relief. It may not be the best of the old thing which you came out of and went back into, and it may not be the best of situations. I've seen, see, all of us a few years ago, if you are a number of years, many of us were in Kolkata, some of us here. And those days, the early 70s and up to mid 70s, in Kolkata, life was, I mean, if I tell you, you wouldn't believe it. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, there used to be a power cut from 1 o'clock in the afternoon to 8 o'clock in the evening. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, power cut from 7 in the morning to 1 in the afternoon. Saturday, Sunday, some power we have. This was life. It went on for I don't know how many years. And then many of us got jobs. We went outside Calcutta. I spent some time in Delhi. I have other friends who went out to other towns. When after a few years I came back to Calcutta, I know the great sense of relief. Hey, this hellhole of a power cut is better than life elsewhere. East or west, home is the best. You went to a very clean place. Everything is ship-shape. Everything works in order. You come back and say, hey, whatever it is. Yeah, I didn't know what was sweat for about 60 days. And the moment I land in Chennai, the clothes stick onto me. But I say, oh, our home is the best. Because somehow we are comfortable relating to, we don't like to come out of our comfort zone. See, to understand certain realities, you must come out of your comfort zone. Until a person learns to come out of the comfort zone, certain things won't. Particularly, Ishvara Darshan won't work at all till you are willing to confront realities. We are still, even after having studied 11 chapters, even after having done so much of, many of us are born in families where there's a lot of bhakti, so much. So a few years ago, I used to run class at home here. There were people who called on me, and we had a nice satsang going on here. People used to sit in front, and we used to have regular sessions. So one day I was explaining all this to him. So at the end of the session, the gentleman, a much older gentleman than I mean, he must now be about in his 90s. Much older gentleman, very wise. He used to do a lot of Vedas and things like that. He knew a lot of stuff. Was well educated. He was a scholar. And he knew a lot of things. Then after everyone went, he said, I want to talk to you. Yes, please tell me. He said, I am under the impression that the moksham that you are talking about is not right. Either I'm happy you were that impression. You didn't say conviction. He says, I firmly believe that on someday will come when I will not be there. I will not be there. And if I have lived a life of punyam, doing bhakti and puja and things like that, he was a Vaishnava. So he said, if I had lived a life like that, I will reach Mahavishnu. I will reach Vaikunta. Then I asked him, what will you do after reaching it? Because when you go to Vaikunta, he says, Vaikunta, I will have daily darshan of Perumal. I will get prasadam from him and live happily. So I said, what is the meaning of this living happily? And what is the darshan of Perumal? Because if you have to go to Vaikunta, you have to die here. When you die here, the body is left behind. You don't carry it to Vaikunta. If you try to carry, you will hang it upside down like that Trishanku. You can't carry this body. It is to be burned, buried, or thrown to the birds, whoever you may be. Reality. Difficult to face. That means you are going to be in Vaikuntha not with this body. Your software is going to be intact, but you don't know what hardware you will have. Hey, what relationship? It's only a belief. When I told him, believe, what happened was he stopped coming. I don't know. It's a long time since I met him. It must be in his 90s now. I hope he has understood. So he was of the firm belief that the moksha which we are trying to explain in our Gita class is not moksha at all. He said all these are theories. Real moksha is when you go and end up in Mahavishnu's Paramapadam. Another fellow says when you end up in Goloka Vrindavan, that is moksha. Lot of people are firmly settled in this. And when I tell you that this is just a belief, the reality is otherwise. You cannot handle it. That is what is happening. So Krishna says, I have given you the total. You could not take it. So I am now come back to my normal Swarupa. Arjuna says, oh, I am comfortable with this Swarupa because I can relate to it. I can't relate to the total. Hey, Janardana, with this, I can relate. That's what it says in verse number 53. Yeah. Now, that was what he said in verse number 51. Now comes a very important section. Next 2-3 verses are all verses are important. So when I say, this is important, doesn't mean the earlier verses are not important. In the next few verses, certain tattva, certain subtle truths are being revealed to us. So for that, we need a little, this should be available for the objective buddhi, non-judgmental buddhi must be available to you. Now, why I say non-judgmental buddhi? Some people will say, he is speaking all this time, who did he learn it from? I learned it from Swami Dayananda. Did he do Veda Adhyayanam? Have he learnt it Vidhi Purva? Has his guru touched his head? All kinds of confusion. How does he know all this? This fellow sings cinema songs on other days. So, cinema song fellow cannot teach Bhagavad Gita. So, so there's a lot of this. That's why this must be available. Non-judgment, but this must be available. So what does Krishna say of it? Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Sudurdarsham idam rupam Sudurdarsham idam rupam Drishtavanasi yanmama Drishtavanasi yanmama Deva apyasya rupasya Deva apyasya rupasya Nityam darshana kamshinaha Nityam darshana kamshinaha. Okay. Yes. Take Arjuna. The Vishwarupa that I showed you. Sudurdarshanam, Sudurdarsham. It is near impossible to see. Who? Deva apyasa. Even Devas cannot see this. But I gave it to you. Okay? Drishtavanasi, I gave it to you, which you have seen. Okay? Nityam darshana kamshinaha. Even devas who want to see it often, want to be in relay with, want to have their darshan, they don't get it so often. They don't get it so often. They have to understand something. So let's see the picture. He showed himself as Vishwarupa. What is the meaning of Vishwarupa? In TV, they would have shown Krishna becoming big, having a chakra or radiant light. Everybody is straining to see. How did he show Arjuna? The cinema they showed. How have we learned to relate to this Vishwarupam till today? The 10th, 11th, how did we relate? Let me go back and revise. This is a cotton cloth. There is cotton in it. You'll have to tell me where there is no. Tell me a place where there is no cotton in it. So, Vishwarupa means seeing the entire Srishti as a Ishwara's. Ishwara is the Karya, Karanam. The Srishti that you see is the Karyam, is the product of Ishwara. In the product of Ishwara, how far is Ishvara from his product? How far is the Karanam from the Karyam? How far is gold from your necklaces and your earrings and rings and bangles? How far? This you cannot visually see, you have to see insightfully. Arjuna said, can you give me a virtual reality? Can you give me an augmented reality? These are expressions they use these days. Can you give me an augmented reality? Hey, what is this augmented reality? You will have it in shortly in India. You will have. They say in some Western countries there is you want to learn driving. So you will not get into the inside of a car. They'll put you in a cabin-like thing, and you will be given a computer screen. You will play a computer game. Driving, truck coming, this coming, that coming, and body will shake, and this and that will happen, and you will be given points. So if you have not scored the points, you will not get license. There are some people who have not got license even after 30 years of driving. So people are not comfortable with that. That I am comfortable with the Saumya Rupa here in India, where without going to the driving school, I can get a license. So you are having a, Krishna gave Arjuna a virtual reality. He gave him an augmented reality. And the augmented reality Arjuna could not handle. So he says, I am giving you Saumya reality, Saumya Rupam. Does it mean he has withdrawn the Srishti? Is Srishti gone? If Srishti goes, you and I will also disappear. So let us go to the first part of this chapter. He said, Divya Chakshu Dadami. I am giving you a divine vision. I am giving you a certain power through which you can insightfully appreciate what I am saying. And now, when he says, I am coming back to my normal, see what I have done? I have taken back that Jivya Chakshu. How many of you have seen those 3D movies? Nothing has changed there, okay? Nothing has changed there. You are given special glasses through which you see something as though you are in it. And when that Divya Chakshu is taken away, what do you see? You see things as normal. Not many people are comfortable with that Divya Chakshu stuff. Imagine seeing a horror movie with that all that gore and ghastly things and with that Divya Chakshu. What will happen? You're okay seeing Kuti Chatan movies and some dance and drama. I wish you could see a movie like Annabelle with that augmented reality. There was a fellow who was asked to see a movie, in an empty auditorium. The fellow fainted. Long back, not now. Those days, the 60s, there was a movie called Psycho. He was told that I'll give you so many $1,000 if you saw the movie alone. He didn't survive. So, that doesn't mean that the Srishti has changed. It only means your focal length has changed. The special darshan that was given to you, that's been withdrawn. Okay, we are all seeing this, what do you call it? On the screen, we see one-day matches, tennis, we see football. So when a goal is scored, what happens? They show the whole thing in slow motion. They show it several times. That means the game being played several times. Once in a while, they'll suddenly show the thing at their... See, when they show you a live telecast of a cricket match, you see things at a certain speed. It is not in that speed that the game is happening. Once in a while, they'll show you the actual speed with a floor level camera. You are given a high level camera for That means for the sake of your understanding, the camera focus, the zoom lenses and things like that have been adjusted. That is called Divya Chakshu. That's how you can relate to this. Otherwise, eternally you will be waiting for some vision. So Krishna says, because you are a bhakta, because you are a person who is committed to me, I decided to give you a special darshan. And now that you are not able to relate to it, I am withdrawing it. Okay? And he says, this special vision, I don't give it to everyone. I don't give it to everyone. So in the Vedanta parlance, we call it Arthavada, means glorifying. To make you feel that, look, I don't answer this, I don't give this answer, I don't answer this to everybody. I don't give these answers to everyone. I don't share these details with everyone. I share it only with people who are special. Here, special is not saying to make Arjuna feel better. It makes all of us feel something special. Have we come up to chapter 11? Yes. This is talk number 166. We have come so far. Does the first 6 chapters, did it make sense to you? Though not 100%, has it helped you absorb something? Has it made a small change in the quality of your life? Are you able to look at the Bhagavad Gita not just as a mere academic thing, but as something to which you can relate to? Do I make sense to you? That means you are a bhakta, a qualified person. Though you don't have all the qualification, you still have the qualification for me to give you a bird's eye view, an insightful understanding, knowing fully well that you may not be able to relate to the whole thing 100%, but I didn't want to hold it back. That's what Krishna said. I was sure when I told you, it will terrify you. But I thought the caliber of the student that you don't doubt. It is not a question of doubt. It is a question of wanting to have a clearer understanding. So your Shraddha is not questioned. Your bhakti is not questioned. Your commitment and passion is not questioned. But sometimes when you are very curious and I don't answer, your mind will not be able to focus on the present. That's why this was given. So that's what he says. Here he says, Durdarshitam, Durdarsham. Very difficult to understand. Meaning it has a lot of subtlety. You cannot pratyaksha understand. You cannot paroksha understand. You have to understand aparoksha. It has to have that, the penny drop feeling. It makes sense. It makes sense. It has to be understood. That's why he says, Durdarsham. It is not just difficult, very difficult. For whom? Deva api. People who have totally only one job, that is trying to know Mahavishnu, trying to know Krishna. That is their only commitment. Whereas you and I have got so many commitments. For instance, suppose I showed you it is 6:15 now. At 9 o'clock, if you log in, I will show Krishna. You will say 9 o'clock, I have this program, I have that program. I have to put the Golupudi back in place. I have to give my husband food. I have to give my children. I have to do this. I have to do, nobody has it. These devas, anytime Krishna says, I want you, the person, they are ready. So even devas, it's difficult to say, so what is this Manusham? Very difficult. That's what is. Verse number 2. Then go to 3. Naham vedairna tapas. Naham vedairna tapasa. Naham vedairna tapasa. Nadanena cha nachejyaya. Nadanena nachejyaya. Shakya evam vido drishtum. Shakya evam vido drishtum. Drishtavanasi mam yatha. Drishtavanasi mam yatha. Naham vedair na tapasa na danena na chejyaya shakya evam vido drishtum drishtavanasi mam yatha. In one of the earlier verses, Krishna said, you cannot know me by chanting, you cannot do me by yatra, you cannot do this. That means, see, there is something called sadhyam. Sadhyam means something which is to be accomplished. And for that sadhyam, I, the sadhaka, the seeker, adopt a certain sadhana to reach that sadhyam. Okay? Here, what is the sadhya vastu? Vishwarupa Ishvara Darshanam. That is the sadhya vastu. So for that sadhya vastu, for that goal, these sadhana will not help. That's what he means. He is not belittling the sadhana. Okay? For instance, you want to travel somewhere. This new mode of transport is not good. You have to take the other means. For example, since there are so many apps. So let's say I am here in one place. I am staying in Chennai or I want to go to Anna Nagar. I say, give me directions. It will say walk, bicycle, car, bus, underground rail, all these it will show. It will show all the options. Okay. But you can definitely walk there to Anna Nagar. But when faster modes of transport are available, would you walk? So that means appropriate sadhana for the sadhya is essential. So you want to have Vishwarupa Darshanam. Vishwarupa Darshanam is intellectual understanding. If that is the sadhyam, Krishna says, Naham Veda. By Vedic chanting, you will not get me. There are a lot of people who say, I want to learn chanting, lifelong chanting. After learning, keep chanting. I am doing this Rudram, Rajrud, 1 lakh times I am chanting. I am afraid this is not the sadhana for that. Chanting will give you punya. It will give you some punya. But suppose you think by chanting alone I will be free from sorrow and get Krishna. He says, sorry, that's not the means. You are adopting, you have not adopted the appropriate means. No? So now Vedic chanting. Na tapasa. Another fellow says, I will do pilgrimage, I will walk on my head, I will stand on 1 foot. Severe austerities. That is not, that will not help you insightfully understand Ishvara. Na danena, whatever money I have, I'll give away. No, it's not help you. You'll only become miserable having given away all your riches. Na, nacha, jaya. Jaya means yajna. By doing homam, you parayanam, all those things. Yajna, particularly fire ritual, you will not get. So if you are doing all this, please don't stop it. Okay. Suppose you are chanting Veda daily. You say I attended a class in which by chanting all this I will not get moksham. So I stop it. No. That will give you preparedness for understanding. That will give you patrata, yogyata, jnana yogyata. It will give you shakya evam vido drishtum. This is possible. Evam vidam yatha drishtavanasi. You will be able to see this not by the sadhanas that I mentioned. Don't stop it, okay? I have to do lot of dhanam. So I learned that by doing this, I will not intellectually understand Bhagavan, intellectually be able to appreciate Bhagavan. So I am stopping all this. No. There's only a small example I want. You want to learn something, okay? Let's take a simple subject. All of us want to learn law. So you go, the most qualified lawyer in this country, or you go to Bhagavan himself, Shattanathan. Shattanatha is by Lord Shiva, who is the Lord of all laws. You go to Shattanatha Swami, sit in front of him, Shattanatha Swami will touch your head. Will you become a lawyer? By touching, by darshanam, By circumambulating, you will not learn law. How will you learn law? You have to go for a 3 or 4 year course, appear for exams, do internship, only then you will get. If knowledge were transferable by touch, why would you spend all our 166 talks learning all this? I would have told Swamiji, my Swamiji would have told him, come to the ashram, I will touch your head, you will get knowledge. Insightful understanding of Ishvara is jnanam. Okay? It is not karma phalam, it is jnana phalam. And if you are looking for jnana phalam through karma sadhanam, hey, come on, you're not going to get it. That's what Ishvara is trying to tell you here. Okay? Verse number 54. Okay? Bhagavan Vacha continues. Bhaktya tvananya shakya. Acha. Bhaktya tvananya shakya. Ahamevam vidorjuna. ज्ञातुं दृष्टुं च तत्त्वेन प्रवेष्टुं च परन्तप भक्त्या त्वनन्या शक्यः अहमेवं विदोऽर्जुन ज्ञातुं दृष्टुं च तत्त्वेन प्रवेष्टुं च परन्तप. हे अर्जुना, ananya bhaktya. Ananya bhaktya means I am committed to knowing Ishvara. Okay. So in one of the earlier chapters we read Chaturvida bhalante mam. Chaturvida, arti bhakta, artharti bhakta, jigyasu bhakta, jnani bhakta. In the arti, artharti bhakta, that is, I want to use Bhagavan as a means for an artha. I want benefit. I want to build a house. I want to build a big house. I want to have a big car. I want all the wealth and things like that. For that, Bhagavan, I say, today I have taken one 5 rupee coin, put it in a piece of yellow cloth and kept this aside. After I get all that, I will do. That's called commercial bhakti. I am not even willing to give 5,000 rupees. 5 rupees only, that too in a handkerchief. I will roll it and keep it aside. So that in case you don't give, then I won't give you 5 rupees. That's a big loss to become purely commercial. You are using Bhagavan as a means to achieve the world as an end. So what is Ananya Bhakta? Ananya Bhakti. Bhagavan is the end and the world is a means to that end. You want to accomplish Ishvara Darshanam. Ishvara Darshanam is equal to Ishvara Jnanam. Ishvara Darshanam is equal to Ishvara Jnanam is equal to Ishvara Aikyam. This is the goal. So if Ananya Bhakti, that is clear, then it is possible. Shakyaha, you must have that kind of commitment. In chapter 8, when we study further, Ananya Chintayanto Mam, Yejana Paryupasate Tesham Nitya Viyuktanam, Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. I will take care of your daily needs. I will take care of your all these small things if you are totally committed to knowing me. Krishna says. The problem is we are not strong enough to believe that and we are not able. How will it happen if I stop working, seek? You know, if you ask these questions, it won't. Okay? Aham evam vidhu. To know me, evam vidaha. To know me as the Srishti Aneka Rupa Ishvara to Brahma Rupa Ishvara, to know me in my entirety, in my absolute reality, you need Ananya Bhakti. Ananya Bhakti, don't confuse, you need a certain commitment. What is that commitment? The commitment is, my goal is clear, my sadhya is clear, my sadhana is also clear. Sadhya, sadhana, I will add my prayatna. It will not that I will keep doing some bhajan. If it has to happen, it will happen. वैसा काम नहीं चलता है. Your pajama philosophy won't work here. I need sadhya. What is the sadhya? I need to know Ishvara. And for knowing Ishvara, what is the sadhana? This is the sadhana. And I will do the prayatana for that. That is Ananya Bhakti. Achha, so if you have that Krishna, so Jnatum cha tattvena, if you want to know me in reality, and merge into me. Okay? Praveshtum, merge into me means that now you and Ishvara are one. You, the physical body won't merge. You understand the equation. I in my Chaitanya Swarupa am not different from Ishvara. Please understand. Hey Parantapa, this is the reality. We will be entering chapter 12 where Krishna will be telling you how to do it. So in this chapter 55, last verse, he is only telling much. Matkar makrin mat paramaha mad bhakta sangha varjitaha nir, yeah, nirvaira sarva bhuteshu jasamameti pandava. Yeah, Arjuna, please understand. Mat karma krite. He is giving you 3 steps. There he will give you 5 steps in chapter 12. It is something like, when these days when the TV serial ends, they will say, await season 2 and see the trailer. So he's giving you season 2 trailer here. Chapter 12 trailer he's giving you here. He says, I will explain in detail to you how to get Ananya Bhakti. So 3 steps I am giving you. One step is, but karma kriti. All your actions do arpana unto me. May the quality of your actions be refined, dedicatable action. It will give you chitta shuddhi. Okay? That mad bhakta. Mad bhakta means a certain bhakti. That means Ishvara is not some imaginative theoretical character living here and there. Ishvara is real for you. Emotionally you are able to relate to Ishvara. That is the Mad Bhakta Upasana. Karma Yoga, Upasana Yoga, okay? And keeping Ishvara as the ultimate goal, you disassociate yourself. Disassociate doesn't mean be indifferent to anything. You understand the importance of Artha Kama, and you also understand how Artha Kama are a means for you to dedicate yourself, to attach yourself to a bigger goal. Nirvairaha sarva bhuteshu. You have no, you have to have a very balanced relationship with the entire Srishti. No hatred. Okay? So we will see that all in details in chapter 12. The 3 means that are being highlighted here, 3 sadhanas which are being highlighted here. Karma Yoga or Chitta Shuddhi. Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is not one yoga, it's a bouquet of yogas. We will see that in the next chapter. Bhakti Yoga for Chitta Ekagrata. Jnana Yoga for Jnana Prapti and Jnana Siddhi. These are the 3 means that the teacher is introducing here so that we go to the next chapter. With this, we complete chapter 11. We have come quite a distance. Completing 11 chapters is not easy. We have come quite a distance because of 4 factors. Ishvara Anugraha, Shastra Anugraha, Guru Kripa, Atma Kripa, because you have all had the commitment. Many of you have been with me right from the beginning. Atma Kripa. All 4 have brought us this. So we end the chapter with this reading. Om Tat Sat Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Vishwarupa Darshana Yogo Nama Ekadashodhyayah. Om Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahisha Go Brahmanebhya Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samastas Kino Bhavantu Kale Varshatu Parjanyah Prithvi Sasya Shalini Deshoyam Chobarahitah ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भया सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा मृतङ्गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 श्रीगुरुभ्यो हरिः ॐ. The recording of the talk will be made available to you shortly. It's available in the group. I can also send it to you. You can download and keep it with you. We'll meet next week with chapter 12. Om Namah Shivaya. Hare Krishna.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Thank you. Namaskaram.
Thank you, sir.